Face the Charlotte 49ers of Conference USA. Matt Schick alongside Paul Biancardi. We have found our way to the top of Halton Arena to see a couple of teams that are trying to find their way to the top of their respective leagues with a couple of head coaches, Dustin Kearns, Ron Sanchez, Paul, who really like a couple of the pieces that they have to build from.
Matt, no fans in the building tonight, but there's plenty of energy and juice in this building. Two programs that are on the rise in their respective conference. Outstanding guard play. This is a great in-state battle. It's going to be intense.
Let's see what we got with App State first. Justin Forrest, senior, kind of gotten off to a slow start here a little bit so far, Paul.
First team all Sun Belt last season at 17 points a game. He was top 50 in the nation at creating fouls. He struggled early this season, but I expect a big game tonight from the senior. On the other side for the 49ers, Jameer Young, an emerging sophomore star. Conference USA Freshman of the Year. He scored in double figures in the first 3 games this season. When you watch him play, he's solid, he's smart, steady, and a fierce competitor.
And there's a look at his head coach, Ron Sanchez, in his 3rd season at Charlotte. Had a nice improvement last year, 10 league wins, their most since 2006. Their 16 wins were the most since 2014 from that Tony Bennett coaching tree. And Dustin Kearns trying another reclamation project. Did it at Presbyterian, now in his 2nd season at App State, and was able to achieve some greatness last year in terms of win improvement, +7 in wins from the season before when he took over, Paul.
The two programs that are on the rise and coaches that are guiding these ships to higher levels. Dustin Kearns, highly respected in the profession. He's a program builder and winner. You talked about Ron Sanchez coming from Tony Bennett. Coach Sanchez has ignited a culture here that exudes winning.
And you see the starting lineups here for App State coming in with a record of 3-1. Gregory Delph, Lewis Jr., and Almonacci, the grad transfer there for App State. These Mountaineers making the 2-hour trip here to the Queen City. And we are underway at Halton Arena. Got a friends and family crowd here, about 50 in attendance, and a clock issue at the start. Inauspicious, I believe, would be the right word to describe that start.
Can you review the tap?
Not sure if you could do that.
Let's review the jump ball.
As a hush falls over the crowd, there's Charlotte's starting lineup. Jameer Young, we referenced him in the open. Bryce Williams, some great pieces to build this program upon. Jordan Shepard getting the start as well. Former Oklahoma Sooner, now in his 2nd year on the floor here with the 49ers.
Matt, expect each of these teams to play a pack line defense. And offensively for Charlotte, we saw the curl cut. They love to run a hybrid Princeton style. A lot of cutting, a lot of screening, and great spacing.
That was a great look there early on for Jameer Young, preseason All-Conference USA. And last year, as we mentioned, Freshman Player of the Year in the league. Driving to the rim is Adrian Delph, the junior out of Gastonia, North Carolina, where he evened up.
Delph is an excellent 3-point shooter. You see the patience and the pace by the Mountaineers on that possession.
Dustin Kearns talked about the communication that they have to have on defense. 3 ball, no good. And that's going to be App State ball.
I love the defensive philosophies by each of these coaches. They're really strong defensively. It's the identity of each team.
Kendall Lewis hits the deck, will be called for a travel. Again, Adrian Delph, the junior. You said he can hit it from the outside. Here, a nice little cut.
Yeah, love the way he caught it. Took the pause. And then the hard drive. He kept his defender off balance. And that's taught in practice and for years in the gym. A lot of guys like to go fast when they catch that basketball. You got to slow down, read the situation, and then change your speed.
This his 69th career game here with App State. Nice play to start the festivities.
Delph had 15 and 8 last year in a win up in Boone for the Mountaineers.
That was a 64-55 win for the Mountaineers in Boone. Young. Get that with a fall. A strong rebound there from Dell.
Matt, how about all the noise from the benches early on? They're into it. You can hear the communication 25 feet away.
Michael Elmonesi with the ball and some hands there. That'll be Jordan Shepard. That is his first foul of the game for either team. Jordan Shepard, former Oklahoma Sooner. Was a few starts there as a freshman, and the guy by the name of Trey Young came along there at Oklahoma.
Took a few shots.
And took a few minutes away.
And a few jumpers. Both of these teams love that dribble handoff.
Short clock here, Elmonesi, yes. Michael Elmonesi, 44% on the year. Grad transfer, spent last year at Division II Southern New Hampshire after a couple of seasons at Stony Brook under Jeff Bowles in the America East. Jump shot, that's rejected there by Donovan Gregory. Good defensive efforts early on and a nice high five from Gregory. Gets the low five from Dustin Kearns after the play.
Donovan Gregory's back home. He's from Charlotte. Played his high school ball at Carmel Christian. Great block. The timing on that. A lot of guys will run into the jump shooter. Gregory waited on it and got it.
Led Carmel Christian to back-to-back state titles here in Charlotte. Here's Young, 5 on the shot clock, and gets rejected by behind. Kendall Lewis with the swat. 1 on the shot clock, that's it. What a defensive possession for App State. Kendall Lewis with the rear rejection.
Just love the aggressiveness by the Mountaineers. 2 went for it. Lewis got it. And as soon as he made that block, Matt, the bench just stood up, cheering, screaming for each other. You love the juice and intensity on the sideline.
You say it. What? BYOE.
Yes, Matt.
Right?
Not BYOB.
There's another acronym that other people like to use, but not here. Not at the college environment. This is BYOE.
Bring your own energy.
Charlotte's going to have to bring their own offense here. They've missed their last 4 shots. Saw that rejection and then the shot clock violation here for Charlotte.
Yeah, I don't know if they've missed. I think the Mountaineers have made them miss.
Yeah.
They haven't got good looks.
Shepard with a good feet down low. Supaka gets it to go.
That little curl play, really tough to guard. Nice dump off.
Supaka started 25 games over his first couple of seasons. Came off the bench last year and is, just trying to get him to realize just how good he can be. Nice start there for Milos.
Well, Supaka has been with Ron Sanchez for 3 years, so he knows the system, he knows the language, and he knows what's expected.
Modesty no good there from 3. Here comes Jordan Shepard.
You're going to see the ball move. And this is a hard-cutting Charlotte team. They score and create fouls by cutting and screening. Look at that.
That cut to Young. Matos a little out of the reach of Jameer Young for another turnover. And you see App State creating their own energy there on the bench.
When you play against a team that makes scoring cuts, you have to really put pressure on the passer, and that time the Mountaineers did.
Get a break. Next whistle here. Turnover here. Here's Jordan Shepard. He's got Williams to his right. Takes it himself and a foul. And he is going to go to the line. That foul on Donovan Gregory, the first for App State. Got a block party here tonight, Paul Biancardi.
Well, the first one, they swatted that one out of bounds. And they got another one at the rim. My goodness.
BYOE. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Pandora. Listen to music from uninterrupted radio only on Pandora. Matt Schick along with Paul Biancardi. The sun has set here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. Knotted up here at 4 after the under 16. What do you think both coaches have seen so far? Maybe that they want to see their team do better.
Well, for Charlotte, they just need to relax on offense and understand they're going to be playing against a stifling defense for Appalachian State, so the cutting and the screening has to be exact. If you're Dustin Kearns, you're happy right now with your defense, the aggressiveness, making everything difficult for Charlotte. The key for Dustin Kearns in this game is scoring ahead of that pack line defense by the 49ers. Last season, they were top 50 in the nation at scoring defense. You know, he brought that with him when he left Tony Bennett.
You know what you're getting from the Tony Bennett coaching tree, and it's certainly carried over here with Charlotte as Jordan Shepard misses his first free throw. Oh for 2 for Shepard. Still knotted at 4. A little more than 4 minutes in. '38th meeting between these two schools. Charlotte 23-14 all-time edge inside and off the glass. That is James Lewis Jr., the red shirt junior from Mount Holly, North Carolina.
The dribble penetration forces help, and once you start helping, you're going to give up layups or open threes. Great cut.
Nice cut. That's Rossetto. Hit from behind. That's the third block for this App State team.
App State's not a tall team, Matt, but look at the length coming over from the side. And that time, Huntley turned his body. He got to go straight up on that one, but he is long at 6'10".
James Lewis Jr. with the block. We got a foul away from the ball. That's Gregory. That is his second here for App State. Bryce Williams going to check out here for Charlotte. R.J. Duhart in for James Lewis Jr. for App State. See the curl and inside, gets his man in the air, does not get the foul call. That's Jackson Treadgill, the freshman ball on the ground.
Because the Mountaineers have blocked a few shots already, and they're coming at you. Threadgill decided to hesitate. I thought he was open right on the catch, right there. Flip it up. Good pump fake. But then he got smothered by the defense. Sometimes when you're open, you just got to let it go real quick. But the shot blockers make you think twice.
Got a few blocks already here. 3 blocks, 6 points for App State. Adrian Delph, 8 on the shot clock. Another bucket in for Delph.
That was a tough shot. The defense by the 49ers was solid. They were positioning themselves on the ball movement. They were right there. Big time shot.
Charlotte's missed 6 of their last 7 shots. Nice feed down low. That is Rossetto gets that one.
Charlotte's getting a lot of those curls and drives, and the big guys slip into the basket. If you're App State, you got to rotate over from the weak side, or you can't allow that pass.
You talked about that pack line with Charlotte. What's the best way to attack that?
You want to screen it in. It's already inside the arc. You have to make cuts, cause confusion.
Adrian Delph has come to play tonight. Averages 11 on the year, and he's already got 6 points.
There's no confusion in Delph's game. He catches it, he's ready to score.
See the communication there and the kick out. Treadgill, the freshman, yes.
That's what he was brought in to do. He had an offer from Georgia out of high school. Vic Serra, the assistant coach, had a relationship with him when he was at Liberty. He carried that over to the 49ers.
Jackson Threadgill, the freshman out of Concord here in the state of North Carolina, gets that one to go 10-9. That one off the back of the iron. Back for the ball, possession arrow. And now this one going Charlotte's way.
Jackson Threadgill played for a great high school coach in Ron Johnson at Davidson Day. Look at that. He caught that ball. His shot preparation was ready and set to go. He didn't have to think about it.
Coach Sanchez saying he just works. High IQ, can shoot the ball. We've seen that on display here in the last minute. Three ball, Matos, no. Settle tries to get the rebound. Nice box out there by R.J. Duhart. App State going to try and push. There's Delph again. Fourth bucket of the night for Delph.
That contested three-point shot by Charlotte. I thought they could have got better in that possession. Maybe a shot fake, drive the closeout. Anytime they're making cuts to the basket, they're getting buckets. The three has to be wide open, and you have to drive the closeout. You can't settle for contested threes. The Mountaineers will run it right back at you.
Had Threadgill on a cut there. Now you got a short clock here at 7.
That's all right.
Jameer Young. Got the three. We saw Jameer Young working on that three-point shot before the game, about 2 hours before tip.
We walked in 2 hours before tip, and he was out there shooting elbow jumpers, free throws, threes. The young man played his high school basketball at the mat, the Catholic from Mike Jones. He is well-groomed to play college basketball.
Good defensive possession there for the 49ers. We've reached the under 12. Next whistle will get a stop. Shepard looks outside to Young. Another three. Yes! Something about practice that helps you improve.
And something about that screen. Rossetto said it in transition. How about the screen by 31 for Charlotte? That was a big-time screen. That got Jameer Young open in the corner.
10 on the shot clock. See the defensive intensity heating up a little bit here for Charlotte. Long shot off the back of the arm by Almonacci, and that's going to stay here when we return. Charlotte has taken the lead thanks in part to Jameer Young, Conference Freshman of the Year last year. Building on it here, Paul B.
Well, that was clutch. Shot clock winding down, but this one in transition. Open, Bottoms.
Well, Charlotte on a little 6-0 run. They've hit 4 of their last 5 shots after missing 6 of 7, and it helps to get a little bit of screen action in transition. That's what Charlotte got in that last 3 from Jameer Young.
Jordan Shepard waits for Rossetto. He sets a drag screen right there in transition. No hedge, defensive conversion, not good by the Mountaineers. Great drive and find. Jameer Young was ready. That is what's called fast break basketball.
Both coaches talked about transition baskets, transition defense, transition offense. Need to do that because these teams are so good defensively, taking advantage of those free-flowing plays.
Anytime you can score ahead of a defense that's terrific, like these two programs. A lot of teams play Syracuse and they say, how do you beat the zone? Get the ball down the floor ahead before they can set up. But that was outstanding early offense by the 49ers.
Adrian Delph got 4 buckets on the night. The handoff. Here's Forrest. The kick out. Here's that man, Delph. That one rims out there on 3 on the shot clock. Rebound here for Charlotte. Caleb Stone-Carrowell now in the game. Number 0 for Charlotte there in the top side corner. Nearly a turnover. No, it is. That will go to App State.
What's different about this 49er team for Ron Sanchez, he took the pack line defense from Tony Bennett, who got that from his dad, Dick Bennett, at Wisconsin and other programs. But their offense is not the blocker and mover. It's more of a hybrid Princeton-style offense where they play through the elbows, they get hard cuts, a lot of dribble handoffs. Cody Kimball from William & Mary on the staff brought this philosophy and style to Ron Sanchez, and it's really been fabulous.
That's his 3rd season here with the program, and the defense has gotten better every year. This year they're holding opponents, again, small sample size, 60 points a game.
Well, you heard Ron Sanchez this morning on the Zoom call. We're going to win games with our defense, but we can be special if our offense can come around. And they have the talent, they have the guard play with Jameer Young and Jordan Shepard. They need Bryce Williams and some of the other folks to start stepping up in the scoring department.
Delph. He's missed his last 2 shots after hitting his first 4. Now Here come the 49ers. Here's Shepard. Check that, Jameer Young. Young, a turnover there, was looking for Matos. Lewis. No, they wanted steps for the 49ers. Not going to get it, but here they come. A little 3-on-3. Young throws it up with contact. He'll go to the line. It's Justin Forrest. That is the team's third foul and his first.
Love the way Jameer Young just took the ball in a straight line and attacked the basket. You see so many players today that try to take extra dribbles to get to spots on the floor. Young with the straight line drive and the free throws.
That one is missed. Sunday afternoon, we'll have a top 20 college basketball doubleheader on ESPN and the app. 19th ranked Richmond in Morgantown to take on West Virginia, 1 Eastern. Then two of the Big 12's best square off. Number 13 Texas battles number 2 Baylor. Baylor, you'll get to see Adam Flagler. Played for App State, and Dustin Kearns. Dustin Kearns got emotional talking about his former player, Adam Flagler, just talking about just how he is as a person and that family and how he developed, and he's just so thrilled to see him succeed at a higher level.
He got emotional because Flagler committed to him in Presbyterian when the program was down and out. And when players do that, they develop a special bond with coaches.
Inside, gets his man up in the air. That's Lewis, can't get it to go. Foul on the floor.
We're seeing a lot of very good initial defense on the ball, but the back lines for each team, they're not coming over to help on the slips and the rolls.
Honestly, look at the inbound. There's Lewis. Lewis gets underneath Supaka. What a move.
Strong, 6'8", 215 from Mount Holly, North Carolina. That was a great action that time by the Mountaineers. They ran a double screen the screener.
Shepard splits the defenders there to get his first bucket.
Shepard and Young have scored in double figures for 21 games so far in their career.
And 10 straight dating back to last year. That one rims out for Delph.
Yeah, both of those guys are going to have to score in double figures for Charlotte to have another great season.
Shepard got a little caught in the air, gets it to Supaka. Nice defense there shown by James Lewis Jr. Might get the block on that one. Delph trying to go baseline, will get the foul. That one on Williams. That is his second. A couple of fouls there picked up in the last minute for Bryce Williams.
You like to see that if you're Dustin Kearns by Delph taking it to the basket. He shot 50% so far in the games behind the arc. So when you got a three-point shooter who's smart enough to drive the ball against the closeout, that's when you become a more complete offensive player.
Come off screens there for App State, but can't get that one to fall. That was Michael Eads, the freshman out of Orlando. Short arm that one, still 5-point lead here for Charlotte. Stone Carrawell gets rejected again. That's James Lewis Jr. 5 blocks now for App State. Nice transition to Kendall Lewis for the News.
App State making momentum-changing plays in this game. The block leads to the layup.
Jordan Shepard, 10 on the shot clock. Supaka down low, draws the contact. And we've got a timeout here as we've reached the under 8. Talked about transition offense. Nothing like defense leading to that, Paul.
First, you got to be active defensively. Weak side help. James Lewis with the body and the hand. And it leads to an easy layup. Mountaineers on their way back.
College football coming up tomorrow, highlighting our lineup on ABC and the ESPN app. Quarterback Sam Howell, number 17, North Carolina, in Miami to take on De'Aaron King and the 10th-ranked Hurricanes. They have their sights set on a New Year's Six bowl. A couple of more wins, trying to get there. 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. Coming up on ABC. Well, it has been a block party so far, but the only ones invited have been App State, 6 of them, Paul.
Well, we got invited, Matt. The block leads to momentum-changing plays. The emphatic defense by the Mountaineers. Couldn't get it in the front. James Lewis got it from behind. And watch this block by Lewis. That led to transition layup by the Mountaineers. In a climate without fans, and you're on the road, and you can make threes or block shots or take a charge, anything to change the momentum of a game and get the energy and the juice of your team alive, it can certainly help. And the Mountaineers have brought the aggressiveness here to Charlotte.
I was talking to head coach Dustin Kearns about that and just playing in this environment, not just without fans, but just amidst the pandemic. He just said, look, you either embrace it or waste it. Just talked about, hey, when this thing is over, it's going to be a badge of honor. Hey, we played through this. We got through this. And that's been the phrase that they've been talking about. And his players have certainly bought in.
As a college basketball coach today, or football coach, leadership has never been more important. Your players, believe it or not, are very resilient, and they will follow your lead. And Dustin Kearns doesn't make any excuses. He knows the environment that his team is in, and he's trying to get the most out of his team and enjoy the moment, as difficult as it is, and appreciate the moment.
Free ball from Eads, no good. Rebound by Matos. Here's Jordan Shepard.
App State has not made a three so far.
0 for 5 from beyond the arc. Charlotte's hit 3 of them. Nice cut. Shepard tried to go up, and a little hesitation, but does draw the foul. Again, you mentioned it. Could have gone up right away. When you're facing a team that's blocked you 6 times, maybe you try and get him up in the air.
Watch the screen by 31. Rosetto again frees up his teammate. Give him the hockey assist. But anytime a team is starting to block shots against you, you know, Shepard, as good as he is, battle tested, he understands that. And there's arms coming to get his shot. And so that hesitates. Sometimes there's 3-second calls. Sometimes it creates turnovers. It can really help your field goal percentage defense.
After missing a couple early, 2 for 2 from the line there for Jordan Shepard, and now a 6-point lead, their largest of the afternoon. App State, just 2 of their last 11 from the floor. High percentage shots like that will help curb that trend. That's R.J. Wilson.
And see the difference, Matt? Charlotte doesn't have a shot blocker in the background. They have big bodies, but they don't have the length and athleticism in the front court to attack that ball at the rim.
Jameer Young got a screen, gets the 3. That's his 3rd. He's got 13.
Jameer Young is so battle-tested out of high school. Played at DeMatha Catholic. Played for Team Takeover in the AAU circuit with Keith Stevens. Mike Jones was his high school coach. He got coached up.
Charlotte's got 4 threes. He's hit 3 of them. And App State is 0 for 6 now from beyond the arc. Nice feed to Rosetto. If he can collect it, cannot. A turnover in transition. See Charlotte trying to take advantage of that play.
And Jameer Young got that rebound. Mike Jones told me today that Jameer Young is an outstanding rebounding guard.
Kendall Lewis can't get the baseline, but does draw the foul, and that will be on Jackson Threadgill, the freshman.
Hard drive, the drop. Nice up and under by R.J. Wilson. No shot blocker at the rim for Charlotte. Jameer Young, patient, poised, steady, understands when he's open.
5 seconds. App State maybe thinking it was quick. Dustin Kearns says, let's bring in somebody else. C.J. Huntley is going to come in for Kendall Lewis after that 5-second call. Kendall Lewis was not inbounding that ball, but Kearns takes him out, and those are those kind of plays that you can ill afford against a defense like Ron Sanchez.
And I just love watching the benches of both of these teams. The Charlotte bench that time just erupted on that 5-second call. And that's more important than ever in this environment.
Young again. That one off the back of the iron would have been his 4th 3 of the day.
You know what, Matt? I hope when we go back to fans that the benches will still be this active and this loud.
Justin Forrest hits the deck hard. He is still on his back behind the play, holding his head. Dustin Kearns trying to get the official's attention to blow the whistle. He does not. And now we do get a whistle now that App State has the basketball. Justin Forrest went up and came down hard. The senior out of Decatur, Georgia. This is 100th career game for App State. And now on the floor. Talked about Justin Forrest in the pregame, Paul, about how great he has been here for this program. Kind of a slow start here this year, but first team all Sun Belt a season ago, coming off the bench tonight, and now Dustin Kearns comes off the bench to tend to his fallen player.
He's holding his forehead, and it seems that the trainer has a, looks like ice towel.
Our conversations with Dustin Kearns, he made it very clear. He just said, look, these are all my guys. I don't care if I recruited you or not. And you could see right there as he went up, drew the body from Rossetto, and his forehead just at a weird angle, just whipped to the left and hit the ground. And not a lot of fans here, but you can hear them all clapping for Justin Forrest, who now is helped to the bench.
He took that ball hard to the basket, and on the fall you could see his head snap down against the floor.
You can see Dustin Kearns, the concern he has for his players. Boy, he talks about the relationships and how relationship driven he is with this program, and how that just facilitates the feel and the culture that he wants here in this program.
Dustin Kearns spends a lot of time with his players off the basketball court, and that builds trust, and that trust leads to belief in, and that's why he gets buy-in from his team.
Because he wants guys hungry, want to be in the gym, want to be coached, competitive guys. Justin Forrest might not have recruited him, but he certainly is one of those guys, and now being tended to on the bench. Well, a 7-point lead here, nearly 5 minutes to go. Nearly hitting the 5-minute mark, should say, here in this first half. 7-point lead here for Charlotte. Three ball Lewis. In front of the iron, no good. And App State continues to be cold from outside. Now 0 of 7 from 3. So as a team, look, you've coached this game, Paul. You've just seen your teammate on the floor. That was about 4 or 5 minute break there. And now you got to go play basketball.
Yeah, your heart is with your teammate, but your mind has to be into the game. Hopefully Justin Forrest just has a bad bruise, but mentally you have to stay locked into the scouting report, to your opposition, and to what your role is on the team. And it's hard to do that between 18 and 22 years old.
5 on the shot clock. Quick move there from Stone Carewell, and another block. That is the 7th of the day for App State, trying to get that one to go off the glass. Reverse lay it is good from Michael Almonacin. Caleb Stone Carewell has had his shot rejected twice here in the early going.
That's twice that App State has taken a block and turned it into a layup.
7 blocks now for App State. 5-point game, 4 minutes to go. Young, nice hesitation move. Has Threadgill for three. Yes. Boy, Young can create so much offensively with that slash cut dribble drive.
Jameer Young is a paint toucher. That means he gets his feet and the ball into the paint. Defense collapses, and then he has the passing vision to find the open man.
5 of 8 from beyond the three-point line. And the Charlotte 49ers here tonight in this first half, an 8-point lead. Cut, crazy shot up off the glass. Kendall Lewis, though, will go to the line. That foul on Anzac Rossetto. Well, App State not getting a lot of offense tonight. They need their defense to help even more if they can.
But they're getting the right kind of defense. The big block. Delph with a beautiful pass.
After that hard fall that he took on the way to the rim, running into Anzac Rossetto, was on the floor for about 3 or 4 minutes before he came out onto the bench where he sits right now and has had his head in the towel since he's been on the bench. Certainly hope for the best, and they are missing a lot with him on the bench. What adjustments. Again, the game must go on. What must App State do in his stead?
Well, not get out of character. That's the first thing. I mean, Justin Forrest, obviously 17 points a game last season. First team all Sun Belt. He brings the team points. And Dustin Kearns will figure out who to sub in for him, and it'll be a collective approach on the offensive end. Defensively, nothing will change for App State. Delph has played very well in this game. Adrian Delph. I think C.J. Huntley, the freshman from Charlotte, will have an opportunity.
Kendall Lewis, the sophomore out of Snellville, Georgia, hits his first and his second. Jameer Young, he's the screen from Supika. Threadgill, three again.
Boy, does he have a beautiful jump shot. 12 in the goal.
Now with his third made three of this first half, 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. And Charlotte now with its largest lead. It is 9. 3 minutes to go in this first half. Check that, R.J. Wilson loses that one out of bounds, and another turnover here for App State.
Again, the three-point shot leads to energy from the bench. Young with the beautiful drive. Knows right where he's going to deliver the ball. Jackson Threadgill shot at 45% last season at Davidson-Dayan. You make that three, the bench erupts, your defense has a little bit more juice. Now you get the ball back.
He's shooting better than 60% from beyond the arc. Here's Stone Carrawell trying to get some offensive going. He cannot. We'll see if App State can push. The glass it in. There's Delph again. He's now in double figures. Adrian Delph, 4th time this season in double figures out of 5 games played. Threadgill again out the front of the iron. And that will be App State ball. Threadgill had made his first 3 from beyond the arc.
You mentioned him, Matt. Adrian Delph. He came into this game as the leading scorer. Half of his shots are from 3. He's got a good percentage behind the arc. He's going to have to do a little bit more in the scoring department, but no reason to panic. This App State team has guys in double figures.
Down low, Lewis. No, good defensive presence there down low by Charlotte. Less than 2 to go. 7-point lead.
I love the way Charlotte just waits for the opportunity to score. They don't just look for their own shot. They're looking for the best shot for the team.
There is no panic here. 5 on the shot clock. Stone Carrawell, no dribbles and a turnover. App State trying to come up with it. Shot clock expires, and that will be App State ball.
And if you're Ron Sanchez, you live with that because your team is trying to do what you're doing in practice. And if you're Dustin Kearns, you're excited because you had defensive discipline and patience for 30 seconds and they came up with the turnover.
Now Sunday afternoon, we'll have a top 20 college basketball doubleheader on ESPN and the ESPN app. 19th ranked Richmond Spiders in Morgantown to take on number 11 West Virginia at 1 Eastern. Then a couple of the Big 12's best squaring off, Texas and Baylor. Shaka Smart's program certainly taking another step. His hair has grown, perhaps the program growing up as well.
This is his best team, Shaka Smart in Austin. He's got guard play. He's always had bigs. Baylor 9-1 against Texas in the last 10 games. I think the Longhorns are ready to change that streak.
Inside, nice play from Supika.
Nice job by James Lewis. Supika getting position, but Lewis not following, just trying to build that wall. Didn't get the block and lost that battle.
Less than a minute to go here in this first half. 9-point lead here for Charlotte. Matt Schick, Paul Biancardi, Colton Arena in the Queen City. Kendall Lewis, this would be big off the back of the iron. And now we'll see what Charlotte does here. Got a timeout on the floor, draw something up, try and hold this possession. With a 9-point lead for Ron Sanchez and his club. The final 35 seconds of the first half coming up.
Watch the contest by Charlotte. They get their hand up on jumpers. They make you miss. The pack line defense is really difficult to score against. If you're going to shoot over the top, you better make sure you're open.
Well, App State going to try and lock down defensively and maybe get one more possession here.
You're going to see Shepard and Young involved in this last play.
Here's Young. Here's Threadgill, who's got 3 threes so far. 5 on the shot clock. Young's in the corner, ready for it, but steps from Threadgill.
Matt, Mountaineers were in a 2-3 zone. I don't think Charlotte was ready for it, prepared for it, didn't recognize it. Great move by Dustin Kearns to change the defense that last possession.
No shot clock, 5 on the game clock. Looking for a 3 ball off the front of the iron, no good. One last shot, Matos. That is no good. Charlotte goes into the locker room with a 9-point lead. This is the 17th time under Ron Sanchez that they've held an opponent to 25 first half points or fewer. They've done it again.
I love their offense. 9 assists on 11 made field goals. The 49ers are playing with unity in Charlotte.
Dallin Cup, Danny Manning, Sean Farnham will take you through our halftime after our commercial break. The Charlotte 49ers out of Conference USA with the edge over App State out of the Sun Belt at half. Matt Schick along with Paul Biancardi here in the Queen City, Holton Arena, where the home team Charlotte with a 33-24 edge on App State. And for Charlotte, Jameer Young has been the star, off to a great start in his sophomore campaign.
He understands spacing and flow to spot up for the 3-point shot. How about the back dribble? Then the re-attack. He creates the space to knock down the open 3. You can do it off the catch or the bounce. Simple straight cut. Look at the release and rotation. An emerging sophomore star for the 49ers.
Charlotte has hit 6 threes. Young has hit 3 of them. Threadgill, the freshman, with the other 3. How about this? Do some simple math here live on the air. Charlotte, 6 of 11 from 3, 5 of 15 from 2. App State, 0 of 9 from 3, 11 of 20 from 2. We can see where they're making a living tonight.
Yeah, App State's gotten the blocks, but they've given up dribble penetration. The blocks have led to some fast break points. They need to keep Charlotte out of the lane. And for Charlotte, doing a really good job defensively, contesting shots. I like the first possession by App State, getting into the paint, trying to score closer to the basket, because the 3-point shot, as we just saw, 0 for 9. Not here tonight in Uptown.
Adrian Delph was the only player for App State with more than 4 points in the first half. He had 10 at the break. He gets the scoring going for App State within 7. 3 on the shot clock. Matos got to get a shot up. Does. Good defense. Was that another block? If it is, it's their 10th. App State's defense has been terrific. Despite trailing by 7 here, they have just made Charlotte work for everything.
Just a little dribble penetration in the first half that created paint touches for Charlotte. Oh, nice slip.
Nice roll there from Lewis, but nice defense there from Charlotte. Shepard wide open for 3. No good. Good box there by Lewis.
Looks like he hesitated a little bit. Didn't want that shot.
Or he was surprised he was that open.
Yeah, points are hard to come by with these two teams. Really sound, active, and alert defensively.
Delta again. No, off the front of the iron. And a rebound from Matos.
And Jameer Young right there on the contest. It's a little thing, but makes a big difference. The team in gold is getting a hand up on all the jump shots by App State.
Young again. Matos. 10 on the shot clock. Look at Young with the cut to the hoop. He's got 15.
And that's a read out of their offense. Anytime a player cannot cut behind the three-point line or somebody dribbles at you, you set them up and make a hard back cut.
And Bill Lewis with a hard cut to the rim. He's going to get the foul on Jerry Matos. His first, team first. Look at this cut.
And Jameer Young, just a simple back cut. He was coming to the ball. His defender was trying to take it away by denying, and Young plants, pushes, and makes the backdoor cut. He plants that foot behind the line. He pushes off. You want to get open, change your direction, change your speed.
4th game in double figures this year in 4 total games this year. As Matos, see him grabbing his back, slow getting up on that collision where he contacted Lewis. But Young now, so we look at Matos, Jameer Young, 25th game in double figures out of 33. You know, you don't always measure talent by scoring, but you can see the signs early. We were calling a game here last year in Charlotte. As a freshman, he was a go-to player, and he's just continuing to take off as a sophomore. Matos. No good. One of the rare misses here for the 49ers. App State trying to get out and run. Again, Charlotte back out on D. Here's Gregory.
I think Donovan Gregory has to pick up the scoring in the absence of James Forrest.
He heard you. There's Donovan Gregory, the sophomore out of Carmel Christian, right here in Charlotte with the bucket, and it's a 6-point game.
Well, he comes into this game with 11 points per game, so he's comfortable putting the ball in the basket. He knows there's a need right now.
That was his first bucket of the game. Shepard got caught in the air, and Supika couldn't help him out. Here's Almonacci. To Gregory. Nearly got that one to fall. Would have been an and one. He'll go to the line for 2.
App State grinding away with their defense. Trying to get some simple looks against a terrific pack line defense for the 49ers. You know, the pack line doesn't give up a lot of transition layups because they sacrifice the offensive rebound to get back. That's the first part of the pack line. Get back, get set, pack it in within the three-point arc, and then position yourself on every pass and cut with a lot of heavy help, and then clean up the glass. It sounds simple. It's well drilled by Ron Sanchez.
And Dustin Curran's saying, we just can't settle. We know they're going to run that pack line. They're going to pack it in. They want us to shoot threes. We got to find a way to get to the free throw line. That means you're driving, drawing contact. Well, if you find your way to the free throw line like Gregory, that's fine. You also have to find a way to make those shots. He's 0 for 2, still a 6-point margin.
You have to move the help. That's the key. The weak side movement is going to move the help side defense, and that's how you score.
Young drawing the contact, tried to get it to Supika, gets it back to Young. But a trip.
Donovan Gregory, he came over to rotate on the slip, and then he slipped on the floor. Watch it. Watch 11 in the black. Rotates, strips it, didn't get possession, and then going for the ball, he committed the foul. But you love that heart and hustle if you're Dustin Kearns.
So that's Gregory's third, so he's going to sit there already without Justin Forrest, who was hurt in that first half. Still trying to get an update for you on his condition. You'd be very surprised with how much pain he was in after hitting his forehead on the ground on the floor if we see him again in this game. So no Forrest, Gregory in foul trouble. See if the 49ers can take advantage. Threadgill. That one just rims out. Rebound Lewis.
Kendall Lewis is another player averaging 11 points per game coming in. He can give App State some points.
Here's James Lewis trying to kick it out. Does to Huntley. Air ball from the freshman. Matos. Threadgill. That one rims out. Would have been his fourth made three of the game.
Every time he shoots it, we think it's going in. Just a clean, pure stroke.
Kendall Lewis. Tough shot. Get a little bailout call there. That's going to be Jordan Shepard. That's his second. And the team's third. Scoring at a premium here in Charlotte. A 6-point edge here at Holton Arena. You are watching ESPN's Holiday Hoops presented by Pandora. Charlotte with a 35-29 edge on App State. See some of the banners of some of the all-time greats here at Holton Arena who once played here, including number 34. Henry Williams, all-time leading scorer, legend here at Charlotte for the 49ers. Passed away back in March of 2018 of kidney disease. And his son is Bryce Williams, number 3 for Charlotte. Fine young player here for this team. Hasn't found his way into the scoring column yet. But now that was just a couple of years ago, and he's been intent on, hey, I want to break his records. I'm really intent on doing that. But Ron Sanchez, we talked to him today about it, just said, look, we wanted Bryce Williams when we got here. We wanted to make sure that he came to Charlotte, played where his dad did, and be around family, and then we could become his family. And they have certainly been a big part of that, going through what they call it, special days and days that are really tough for Bryce in remembering his father. He said, hey, Ron Sanchez said, no young man is able to go through that kind of adversity. We want to help him.
I had a chance to coach Bryce Williams at the Jay Billis camp. Just quiet and respectful. He had a great career at Hopewell High School. Other schools recruited him. Some of the ACC, the SEC schools had interest, but they had no shot because of his dad being a legend here at Charlotte.
His Charlotte team, nice feed down low to Rossetto with another block. That's number 10 for App State.
C.J. Huntley got that one.
Free ball, Almonacci. We've seen that time and again, where a block, come down the other end, get a bucket. They got the 3, and that might break the seal on that rim. They were 0 of 11 from 3 before that one.
The block changes the momentum of the possession. Right back at you, Jameer Young. See, solid, steady, doesn't let the block and the three-point shot by App State affect him in any way. He's a next play guy.
He's got a game-high 17. Preseason all-conference first-teamer, was the Conference USA Freshman of the Year last year. Kendall Lewis going to get called for the offensive foul. And back it up a couple of minutes. Here's the block, the 10th on the night for App State.
And C.J. Huntley, long and athletic at 6'10". Almasy, feet set and ready. How about the charge by Jerry Matos in that last possession by Charlotte? That was beautiful. And pack line defense, they show help and they give help.
4 points in the first 6 minutes for Charlotte. Rossetto, nice spin, left hand in. We saw him working a couple hours before the game as well, working on those post moves. That one paid off with the left hand. They're up 5.
The young man from New Zealand had that jump hook game going early, 2 hours before this game.
C.J. Huntley, no. I know you see that last name, Rossetto, and you thought it was an Italian name. I think you confused him for one of your favorite Italian dishes.
They don't have Italians in New Zealand?
He's from New Zealand.
I know, but come on. Maybe he likes risotto.
And a whistle here. Here's Rossetto from New Zealand, Paul.
Yeah, 2 dribbles to the middle. Spin back to the baseline. Matt, when we walked in, he was working on that exact move from both blocks. Must have attempted 25 to 30 repetitions pregame.
There's Matos working on Huntley. Kearns wanted the hook, and you can see it there, calling for the official. He's not going to get it.
I think he hooked him with his right hand, right elbow.
Back up to a 7-point lead for Charlotte. Delph, kick back out to Huntley. Kendall Lewis, the drive, strong drive off the glass and in.
See, 2 paint touches in 1 possession leads to a good attempt.
Back and forth action, active hands there from Delph. Matos kicks it back out. Here's Shepard. Yes. Well, the offense was a little slow going for Charlotte in that second half to start the second half, but they've caught a little fire here, Paul.
You could just tell Jordan Shepard was waiting for that to happen. He was spotting up. He was wide open. Redshirt senior knocks it down.
Sunday afternoon, top 20 college basketball doubleheader on ESPN and the ESPN app. 19th ranked Richmond Spiders in Morgantown to take on number 11 West Virginia at 1 Eastern. Then 2 of the Big 12's best square off. Number 13 Texas battles number 2 Baylor. Saw Richmond head coach Chris Mooney take down Kentucky earlier this season. Trying to take on another major conference team coming up on Sunday. Well, we were mentioning earlier about Bryce Williams, his father, Henry. You're looking at a guy right now who also has his banner being raised as well here for the Jersey.
You know, on the Charlotte staff is Byron Dinkins. He's the director of player development. One of the all-time greats here in Charlotte. Played in the NBA for a little bit and then coached here locally at Carmel Christian and Northside Christian. Won over 200 games, but he was very close to Henry Williams. He was a pallbearer at the funeral, and those 2 guys were very tight. And Coach Dinkins does an unbelievable job with the relationships of the players.
Dinkins was to his right, couple of chairs down again with the spacing and the distance.
With the mask, it's I'm not sure who you are right now, Matt. You're hard to see.
44-36, Charlotte with the lead on App State. What does App State and Dustin Kearns, what do they want to see here?
And more movement on offense. I like the 5-out motion, the screens, and the drives are hard, but they have to move the help. And you move the help with hard cuts and screens.
3 ball Almonacci off the glass. No, hit one earlier. Gets the carom to Lewis, who tried to throw it down, but a foul. And that's going to be on Jerry Matos. He can't believe it.
Matt, when you chart this game after, you'll see that Charlotte contested at least 75% of the shots. Look at that, another contest by the 49ers, but great hustle by Kendall Lewis. Look, the effort by App State is great. The ball's not going in the basket. And that's a tough combination. When you're playing hard defensively but not scoring, eventually when you don't score, your defense starts to suffer, whether it's on the front line or the back line.
Another missed free throw and a 7-point deficit for App State.
App State, as bad as they're shooting, 7% from 3 and 40% for the game. They're right in this game because of their defense.
10 blocks from this App State defense so far. 4 on the shot clock. Matos to Shepard off the front of the iron. Rebound. Good defensive possession there for the Mountaineers. Gregory with the kick. Here's Lewis. Lewis tries to give it back to Gregory. Good defense there from Jerry Matos.
Yeah, that wasn't open. It was a bad decision. Another way you move the help is by moving the ball around to the other side. You want second and third side offense.
Matos, no. Young trying to keep it alive, cannot. Rebound Lewis.
I thought that was a little bit of a heat check shot early in the clock. He's earned it, Jameer Young. You're up 7 right now with 11 and change. You want to try to get this, stretch this to double figures.
That was Matos with the missed shot, who now is 1 of 7 from the floor. Delph to Lewis for 3. Yes, that's a big shot for App State. Again, this was a team that was at halftime 0 for 9 from 3. They've hit a couple here in this second half to draw to within 4.
And Lewis, who drew the defense and set that play up just beautifully.
10 on the shot clock. Matos tried to find Shepard, nearly tipped away from Lewis. Shepard, no, air ball. And going back to App State. Charlotte with a 4-point lead, timeout on the floor. They haven't hit a lot of threes, just a couple of them. A couple of more, and they're going to take the lead. App State trailing by 4. Got our wires crossed earlier. I think we showed you Aaron Fern earlier. Here's the man we were talking about. Byron Dinkins from East Mecklenburg High, a legend here in one of his banners hanging here as well. Director of Player Development for Charlotte, Paulie B.
Yes, he was Sun Belt Player of the Year in 1988. Went on to the NBA, undrafted, played in the CBA over in Europe. Came back to coach here at Northside Christian, Carmel Christian. Over 200 wins, but this guy fits the bill of a better person than a coach. Humble, respectful, and he's a great leader of young men. And Ron Sanchez recognized that and put him on the Charlotte staff.
Charlotte staff seeing its players with a 4-point lead, reaching halfway through this second half. Kendall Lewis would have had an open shot, decided not to take it. 10 on the shot clock. Heading to the rim was James Lewis Jr. Draws the contact. The Bull heading to the rim, and now we've got a foul and free throws coming up. And this is what App State needs to do. Look, we talked about Dustin Kern saying, hey, we want to get to the free throw line. They want us to take threes. They haven't been hitting a lot of threes. Said we need to get to the free throw line. They've been doing that for the better part of this game. Just got to hit these free throws. This will be the 11th attempt of the game, and it goes in.
That possession had ball movement. It started in the right corner, went out to the right slot, over to the left side, to the left wing, into the post for a drive. And that's how you beat any defense, with ball movement, because that moved the help and it moved the positioning of Charlotte.
James Lewis Jr. connects on both. And this is the closest that App State has been in the second half. A 2-point game here in the Queen City.
App State has a lot of pride in their defense as well.
Supica, aggressive to the rim.
But they haven't rotated over on that slip enough in this game. Love the way Charlotte just finds the open cutter. You have to put more pressure on the pass.
Elmonesi for Gregory. Back outside, 3-point attempt, no. Rebound after that miss from Adrian Delph. Here's Jameer Young, who's got a game-high 17. Young, the 3, yes. His 4th made 3 of the night. He's got 20, leading all scorers.
A young man from DeMatha Catholic. He played with a lot of stars in high school. Earl Timberlake, who's at Miami right now. Justin Moore at Villanova. Hunter Dickinson now at Michigan. And he was the role player with those guys. And he's learning how to go from a role player in high school to one of the stars at Charlotte. It takes an adjustment. Conference USA Freshman of the Year. When he catches the ball, I love the hesitation to make the defense freeze. Then just smooth rhythm dribble to an open pocket of space. And he recognizes when he's open and he's ready to shoot the ball. That's the sign of a guy who's put a lot of time into his game. And Matt, you mentioned it in the first half. When we walked in, he was down at the right basket 2 hours before the game working on his jump shot.
His second 20-point game of the season. His fifth 20-point game of his young career. Again, last year was the freshman of the year in Conference USA. He's given this team a 7-point lead. He's got 20. Gregory, yes, much needed. Just their third made three. They're 3 of 17 from beyond the arc. They are hanging around, Paul.
You have to make a couple of threes against that pack line to extend it just a little bit more than it wants to be.
See Young moving without the basketball, trying to get open. He's Supika. Supika right-handed flip, rims out. As he was working on Lewis, that foul on James Lewis Jr. Jameer Young's got 20 and 4 threes, Paul.
Little jab step by Donovan Gregory. The local Carmel Christian high school player with the jumper.
And
Tonight?
we'll see. I can't believe it.
The NBA
we just finished.
tonight?
We just finished.
Are we going to call that game?
We could.
We could.
Charlotte with a 49-45 lead right now. You see Ron Sanchez and his coaching staff coaching up Shepard and Young with this 4-point lead. And this App State team has hung around here. It could have gotten away from them. They're just 3 of 17 from behind the 3-point line.
That's a tough, grinding group. They won last year in Boone. And they're hanging around without their leading scorer from last year, Justin Forrest.
Justin Forrest banged his head on the floor in that first half. Has not returned, unlikely to finish this game here, and they will go without him the rest of the way. We're going to have to come back from 6 down with less than 8 minutes to go.
Every possession so important for App State because the defense of the pack gets stronger as the game goes on. And you have a tendency to settle sometimes because you're tired of looking at one guy on you and then a wall behind.
Adrian Bennett gets a reach-in foul on Charlotte on his way to the hoop.
So you have to keep your aggressiveness, Matt, and you have to keep your offensive patience while you move the ball and while you get some screening and cutting to create some open.
7 fouls, 1 and 1 in the bonus. Rest of the way here for App State. Got to hit these free throws, and they do. Now 9 of 13 from the line. Adrian Delph now with a team-high 14 to lead App State. App State coming in with a record of 3-1. Sun Belt Conference.
The 49ers were up 4 points with 8 minutes to go against a really good Georgia State team. Same situation, up. In the last couple of minutes, they lost that lead. They're going to learn how to close out games as a young team.
Talking to some of the coaching staff saying, hey, you know, if we had fans in the building, you feel like you wouldn't lose a game like that. You'd be able to finish a game like that. Got to create your own energy, create your own offense here. That Supika is going to go to the line.
They've run that curl a few times in this game where they have Jameer Young coming off the curl. The defense gives Young all the attention, and the big just slips to the basket. How about Young with the ability to find the open man and make the appropriate pass, whether it's a driving kick or a pocket pass, and a steady outside shooter.
Back up to a 6-point lead. App State has gotten to within 2 here in this second half. Charlotte has answered back every time. Now Mondesi. 3 rims out, rebound Matos. 3 of 18 from behind the three-point line for App State. Redgill looking for Matos. 7 on the shot clock. Shepard draws the double, gets the turnover. Donovan Gregory to Lewis.
Outstanding defense by the Mountaineers. They stayed disciplined the whole possession, and they were textbook on that ball screen, which led to the steal and the dunk.
Had to defend 29 of the 30 seconds on the shot clock. Got the transition dunk. Now they're within 4. Again, a short clock upcoming. Shepard, 3 on the clock. Off the front of the iron, it goes out of bounds. Another good defensive possession for App State. What are they doing so well defensively here?
They're staying in their stance. They're sliding their feet. They're not committing foolish fouls. What a great give back. Kendall Lewis with the steal and then the finish. Matt, defense, we know it's about effort and positioning, but it's also about focus and concentration. And when you play a team like Charlotte, you do have to concentrate for an entire possession because they're not going to shoot the ball quickly.
3 ball almost gets wedged. Here's Lewis again inside. Can't get that one to fall. No foul. Dustin Kearns wanted it on Supica, not going to get it.
Supica is like a wall in there. Strong, 6'9", 240 from Serbia.
Charlotte looking for their first field goal since the 9-minute mark.
And they can't stop moving the ball and screening and cutting.
Shepard splits the defenders. That layup rims out. That's going to be App State ball.
There's a fine line in this hybrid Princeton offense of moving the ball, moving your body, moving the defense, and then being aggressive to score. Sometimes you just have to break it off like this. Jordan Shepard right there at the rim. And App State had 3 defenders waiting.
So Supica draws the foul. We mentioned they're in the bonus. App State is 18 fouls on Charlotte. So now a 1-and-1 upcoming for Adrian Delph. He's got 14 on the night. 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Make it 3 of 3, and they're within 3. We knew this would be a low-scoring affair.
But the way that Charlotte has shot the ball, 8 for 19 from 3,
yeah,
they'd be blowing out most teams at their level. But the defense by App State has kept them in the game. Now it's a 1-possession game.
Well, speaking of App State, we were talking with Dustin Kearns about just his coaching philosophy and where he draws his philosophy from. And he said, look, we have studied a lot of great teams. We have actually gone in the classroom. I've had my coaching staff cut up clips from documentaries of great teams to study. What do they do? What do they do well? Now, he referenced Florida and their back-to-back titles, Alabama football in the process, but he zeroed in on Gonzaga. Not that they want to be Gonzaga. Not that they think one day they're going to be going to Elite Eights all the time, but just that how do you become great? And he said, you got to figure out what loses games before you can figure out what wins.
I thought that was fantastic. The other thing Dustin Kearns said to us, which I loved, good days add up.
Yeah.
You're not going to have a great day all the time, and you're going to have some bad days, but good days add up. And in the game, good possessions add up.
Appreciation is the currency of success. I think there were about 7 or 8 things that you could.
Oh, he also talked about you can't turn around a program with entitlement. I remember he said that.
Redgill for 3. That's an air ball. Might have been tipped.
The defense the last couple of minutes for App State has been on point. They've been disciplined. They've contested. And they've limited Charlotte to 1 shot.
A bucket here would be large for App State. Lewis gonna draw contact. No, gets the steps. Charlotte was calling for it. And the official calls it for him. The steps on James Lewis Jr.
but I like the look. You went inside, you're trying to be aggressive. App State loves to live at the free throw line. The dribble, the spin. I'm not sure it looked like a clean step through. This is a mentally tough App State team. When you shoot as poorly as they did, without getting their first three till, I believe it was the second half. Defensively, they've been locked in and focused.
Yeah, they were 0-9 from beyond the arc in the first half. Shepard kicks to Threadgill. 8 on the shot clock. Matos has struggled from the field, and those struggles continue. That's going to be App State ball.
But you see App State picking up the intensity defensively. Now what happened? Charlotte is settling a little bit for outside shots.
Charlotte with a 2-point lead. You're watching ESPN's Holiday Hoops presented by Pandora. Back to Halton Arena for the Final Four. Back here in Charlotte, Matt Schick, Paul Biancardi, block party here for App State. They have 10 here in this game.
They blocked them not only at the rim, how about this chase down block by Lewis, but they blocked shots on the outside. They've helped each other. Lewis from the backside. They beat one, but they have to meet two in the back line. And the blocks have led to offensive transition, fast break, early points. In the last 4 or 5 possessions for App State, they've been stingy defensively.
It's a Charlotte team that is 1-2 on the season. One of those games, they feel like they should have closed out against Georgia State. Right here, they played all 4 games now at home. Georgia State went on a 10-0 run to win that game. What does Charlotte need to do here now that they've kind of faltered offensively a little bit?
It's their offense. They have to cut a little bit harder. They have to cut a little bit more. They have to do what they did in the first half. As App State turns up the defense, you have to turn up your offense.
Adrian Delp, leading scorer for this App State team here in this game. Finds Kendall Lewis, swing pass to Gregory. Got it! App State, their first lead since the 12:44 mark of the first half when it was 12-9. They've come back to take a 1-point lead with 3 to go.
Dribble penetration kills the defense. Wide open shot by App State.
Jameer Young is going to go to the line.
App State was really aggressive. Watch this. They swing the ball. They went to the corner with it, and then Lewis one more to the top. Donovan Gregory was ready. That's been drilled in practice by Dustin Kearns. Drive to the paint, kick to the corner, look for one more.
App State 4 for 11 from 3 in the second half after 0 for 9 in that first half. As Jameer Young ties it up, he's got a game-high 21. Conference USA Freshman of the Year a season ago. If they gave out a Sophomore of the Year award, he'd be right at the top. And he's regained the lead for Charlotte.
He is the future of this 49ers program. App State running a little flex offense right now.
3 minutes to go, foul away from the ball. More free throws coming for the Mountaineers.
Well, App State set a hard baseline screen. Charlotte tried to fight through it, got frustrated, committed the foul. Everything at the end of the game has to be more exact and done with more urgency. The referees let a little bit more go. Crunch time performers look to take over. You can't play on your heels at the end of a game. You have to play in an aggressive style.
Lewis Jr., no, but an offensive rebound. Ten on the shot clock. Elmonesi drives, draws contact, no foul. Charlotte tries to keep it alive, but a foul going the other way. They're going to say Matos was pushed out.
What great team defense by the 49ers. I mean, they were everywhere on that possession, constantly repositioning themselves. Look, they fight over the screen, they help. 2 guys come straight up, meaning they jump vertically, don't commit a foul. They play defense with their body, and they play it exceptionally well. They pride themselves on being in the right spot at the right time.
App State 1 foul away from putting Charlotte in the bonus. Jameer Young already has 4 made threes. Here's Rossetto driving, offensive foul. Yeah, when you get 265 pounds, lowering the shoulder, putting your head down, you're going to get called for that more often than not.
No question. Big fella driving. Big fella taking the charge. Those were 2 trucks on the highway colliding. How about Lewis sacrificing his body for the good of the team?
265 versus 215.
In crunch time. They're both big.
A little over 2 minutes to go. Charlotte with a 1-point lead. Gregory can't get the roll, can't get the tip, gets his offensive rebound.
What a play by Donovan Gregory. The aggressive drive, the extra effort on the glass. This is going to be big.
Five on the shot clock. Delph got to get a shot off. Elmonisi gets it off the front of the iron, no good.
A little bit of one-on-one by that time by App State. Great play by Gregory to keep it alive, but not a lot of movement after that. Had a new shot clock.
Seen the 49ers not be able to get anything going till the end of the shot clock. Offense has been a little stagnant. Matos, open 3, no. Offensive rebound from Supika. Gets that one picked away.
The Mountaineers, omnipresent on defense. They're everywhere. Contesting shots, stripping the ball. They are a very active and alert team right now defensively.
It has been 8 minutes since Charlotte last made a field goal. App State trying to take the lead. They'll try to do it from the free throw line as Donovan Gregory on a mission here in this second half.
The sophomore won a state championship at Carmel Christian in 2018. He also won back-to-back state championships, and he's trying to put App State on his back right now.
80% free throw shooter. Donovan Gregory missed both of his attempts tonight, though.
Justin Forrest out. He banged his head in that first half. 17 points a game from last year. You never want to see anyone get hurt. But with injury becomes opportunity. Donovan Gregory has stepped up here in the second half for the Mountaineers.
And now a 1-point lead for App State. Again, 9+ minutes. Check that, 8 minutes since Charlotte last made a field goal. And App State, see Dustin Kearns. Let's just settle down, lock down defensively. And Adrian Delph certainly led the way offensively for this team.
He got him off to a good start. The pull-up jump shot, the 3-point shot. Adrian Delph was a facilitator from the elbow. Look at that isolation. Says, I feel it tonight. And in the open floor, he can navigate and find his way to the rim. A very good 3-point shooter. He's hard to guard. Upperclassman. A lot of these guys, Matt, this is a living room game. What I mean by that is 2 in-state schools trying to recruit a lot of players here in the state of North Carolina. You want to get in the living room, you win the battle between the in-state games.
Charlotte has led for nearly 31 minutes of this game. App State has led for fewer than 5 minutes, but with less than 1 minute to go, they've got the most important lead of them all. And steps. A traveling call for Jordan Shepard. Ron Sanchez in disbelief. You rarely see that. The travel call here.
Oh, yeah, he traveled.
I don't know if he felt he had possession, but called the travel, and now Charlotte's got to lock it down.
Looked like he had two hands on the ball.
Yeah. 13-second difference. Shot clock to game clock. And on the shot clock, Omonesi. Backing it out with Delph. Delph with 5 on the shot clock. Here's Gregory to Delph. Someone's got to shoot it. 1, Delph. Yes! Adrian Delph. He's got 19. And App State calls a timeout.
Biggest shot of the night for Adrian Delph. That has to be a Sports Center top 10 nominee. Shot clock winding down. The pack line defense in full force. Adrian Delph with a step back 3-point shot off the ball screen.
Season high 19, 2 off a career high as he bobs his head back down the floor.
Matt, he's been playing with that confidence all game long. A crunch time performer for the Mountaineers.
Look, eventually that law of averages has to kick in from the 3-point line. This team was 0 of 9 in that first half. Now they are 5 of 12 here in this second half. And the flip side has been true for Charlotte. They have not been able to connect from long range. 2 of 11 from 3 in the second half.
The mental toughness of App State to stay in this game while shooting horrendously behind the arc is a tribute to the entire staff and the program. To stay with things, to play the next play and not think about the last play. Believe in your defense, trust your defense. And it's a staple for this program as well. And then eventually aggressive defense led to points. They were terrific at blocking shots. I thought they did a great job in the second half, App State, of sitting in their stance, sliding their feet, and being patient defensively, guarding that hybrid Princeton-style offense. We're cutting and moving, and on the flip side for the 49ers, they seem to be less aggressive in the last 4 minutes of this game. Very similar to the Georgia State game.
Well, Charlotte's won 4 of the last 5 meetings. 16-4 all-time at home against App State, but App State has come in here, hung in there, and now with a 4-point lead. All right, so what does Charlotte do now? Quick 2?
Quick 2. You have to go for the quick 2. There's plenty of time to get a quick 2 and play the quick foul game. You see, Dustin Kearns has App State in the zone. I love this because it's going to make Charlotte probe a little bit and make a pass or 2.
All right, here's Jameer Young. Jameer Young is going to drive, get the quick 2, 8 seconds to go, 2-point deficit.
That zone didn't come together in the back line very well. But I do like when teams play zone up 2 possessions because it makes the offense pass the ball. That time, Charlotte did a great job of attacking the press and going right for the quick 2. Now you match up man-to-man. You put pressure on the basketball. Way too easy for a 1-2-2 zone defense. I know you don't want to foul, but you have to come together in that back.
You don't want to foul, but you do want to defend.
Yeah, it looked like it was almost a man-to-man at the end. I think the idea was 1-2-2, a look, and then back to a man-to-man. And that man-to-man got stretched out.
All right, Jameer Young, game high 24. 2-point lead here for App State.
Now pressure on the ball, Matt, right here is so important if you're Charlotte. You want to get heavy pressure on the ball. You're looking for a steal. If you don't get a steal, you have to foul right away. On the flip side for App State, the man who takes out the ball has to be the most trusted player on the team. And then the offensive players have to cut and move maybe a second and third time.
Gregory inbounds to Delph. Got a foul, and they do.
Nice little stack action by Dustin Kearns where he had multiple players curling off that stack to the open side of the floor.
So it is a double bonus. Delph will get 2 free throws here. Adrian Delph, for a man who had not attempted a free throw yet this season, so far, is 4 for 4 as we'll put the announcer's jinx on the line here.
Notice I'm not talking.
We're so far up from the floor.
They can't hear
even
you
count.
anyway.
It can't even count. 2-point lead. Here's Delph.
Okay, now if you're App State and it's a 3-point game, are you committing the foul or are you going to trust your defense?
I feel like with 5 seconds to go, you just D up. You're up 4.
You have 16 fouls. You could commit one.
Here's Shepard. They call a timeout, and we only have 2 seconds left now.
I like that. Side out of bounds. More than 2 seconds, you can. That's NBA. You get that ball in 2.3 seconds.
It's a 4-point deficit.
I understand that. But you want to get a 3-point shot off, and I think that's what Ron Sanchez is trying to do right now, to make sure his team gets a quality 3-point shot. Understanding you may not win the game, Matt, but you may get a quality 3 off.
Understood that you want to hit a 3 here. That play will take so long the game will be over. I think you throw this ball to the rim, Paul Biancardi, try and get a quick tip lay in here with 1.5 seconds to go. And then you try and get the steal. I mean, I'm trying to draw up the drama here, but 2 seconds to go, 4-point lead. If you're Dustin Kearns, you're loving where you're at.
You need to go back to the YMCA and do your coaching, please. Ron Sanchez is a rising star in this profession, trust me. I love watching his team play on tape. The offense will come around. It's been good for 30, 35 minutes.
Yep.
They got to polish that up. Don't forget, they've had no exhibition games, no scrimmages, just like the rest of the country. And I thought Ron said something today that was so important. You get your identity in the games. You don't have a chance to find out what the identity is and the strength and the weakness of your team until you're in games.
Both teams have had games canceled. It has been just trying to navigate through this young season. Here's Young for 3. That rims out, and that will do it. App State comes into Charlotte and will take the 2-hour trip north to Boone with a W. You see the excitement there from Dustin Kearns. Well earned and a great win for his club.
Well-coached game, hard-playing game. App State, big-time win on the road. Their defense was the difference.
They improved to 4-1 on the season. For Paul Biancardi, our entire crew, thanks to Brent Stastny, Andrew Korba, the sports information directors, for helping us out. More Holiday Hoops presented by Pandora. Iona traveling to Fairfield next. Good night.